Hello, thanks for stopping by today. If you are interested in supplies and measurements for today's card, there is a link in the information section below to the blog post with all the details. And for today's card, I use There's Magic in This Night and this frame, half frame image. I also used some of this paper from the Designer Series paper and the Cobweb folder and some of the Iridescent Pearls. Right. And here's the card I made. Isn't it cute? Oh, so much fun. All right, first thing I need to do is, all right, there's my measurements. I'm going to take and I'm going to emboss my piece of smoky slate. And this piece is 3 3/4 by 4. And I am going to strategically place my embossing folder so that I get the look that I want. So let me emboss this. I have my piece embossed, but I want to use the debossed side. And to add a little interest, I'm going to sponge around the edges. So I've grabbed my smoky slate ink and my makeup brush, and I am just going to go around the edges. And it takes it a while to build up the ink on these brushes. I wash mine out. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. That way I don't have to worry about my colors mixing, and it doesn't affect them. All right. Okay. Sometimes you have to move it to really get to see how much ink you have on there. So I'm always starting off so I don't get blobs on my paper. It goes on the scrap paper. And it doesn't matter to me if some are lighter or darker than the others. Oh, I gotta be careful. I just stuck my finger in the ink pad and scraped up the ink. Not a good thing. I'll have to wash my hand or I'll have smoky slate ink on everything. All right, almost. Little bit left. Okay, there we go. All right, let me go wash my finger, because if not, I'm going to have a mess. All right, all clean. At least I know it's not going to get on my card. I'm going to set that aside. And then what I did was I took and I stamped my sentiment, and then I stamped the frame around it. That way you can kind of make sure that frame is straight along with the sentiment. So with that, what I did was I wanted to color the flowers, but I didn't want them real dark. So I took my pretty peacock pad and I put some ink on a block, and then I'm using my blender pen, and I want this really light, so I'm really pulling that ink way out, and I'm just coloring my image. And if it's, you know, you can get it as light or as dark as you want. It's easier to start lighter and add more color if you want. And it doesn't take much ink, so when you stamp it on your block, just stamp like a little corner. As you can see, there's still going to be tons left when I finish this up. a little bit more there. And you know, it's okay if some are lighter than others, and they all just kind of blend together. All right, one more. All right, then you want to make sure to scribble till this runs clear, or your pen will be permanently stained and you'll have another marker. All right, we've got that done. I am going to take, I'm going to take the large frame and cut this, no, the small frame and cut this out. I didn't pull it. It's this one. It's the smaller frame. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put this on here like so. And I will tell you, I am going to tape this down, because if I don't, what will happen is it will shift on me and I'll mess it up, and then I have to start all over again. So now that I've got it taped in place, I'm going to cut this out. All right, I've got my piece cut out. Now it's time to make this, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. This is the platform, my magnetic platform, and I had a piece of silver, and it was a long strip. So I put this down, and I'm trying to line it up as best. There it goes. It locks into place. I put this down right at the very edge. All right. And then I put my plate on top, and I didn't want to cut down here because I want a long strip. I mean, I took a 1 inch by 12 inch piece, and I cut a whole long strip that I use when I want. All right. I run this through the machine. Then I take this off and I line this up, and it usually will fall into place. There it goes. It kind of locks in and you can feel it. And then what I did was I took and hung, I gotta get this up here. I did it. I took this, locked it into place, and moved it so it hung off like so. And let me turn this over. You can see that it's not, I'm past where I cut before. So I hang this off. I again take my piece and I put it out to the edge. It's not going to cut there because there's nothing underneath of it. And it's not going to cut past here because there's no plate past it. And that's how you do it. You just keep moving it up and cutting. And then you get a really long piece. And that's what I have here. And this actually needs to be, let's see what this needs to be, 4 inches also. So I'm going to put this here. I didn't cut it because I wanted to show you how to do it, but I will cut it now. I'm just going to use my lines. There we go. And that scraps, I'll throw it away. All right, let's get our card put together. All right, I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. All right. Then I'm going to take my piece of, I got to make sure which way I put it on, this way. This is my debossed side ready to go. So I'm going to add tear and tape to the back of this. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to switch to my contraband because this is, yep, it's out. Let me get my other, all right, here it is. I have some other tear and tape that I use and personally, and so I'll just use that for this. So I can get this put down. All right. Making a mess. Let me see. Yeah, it goes on like this. So I'm going to take my backs off. And the only difference between these two tapes is the size. So, all right, I'm going to put this on like so, and I'm going to make the spacing even on the 3 sides. This one goes down, and this is the rose pattern, but it's the small flower pattern, and it has to go on like this. I'm going to make sure that's right. Yeah, I'm going to butt this up against this piece like so. All right. Then this goes on, and this section here overlaps this line, so you can't really tell that the two pieces are joined. So I'm just going to go through and add some dots. All right, I think I got enough on there that it'll hold. All right, so I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to lay it down here. Oh, I cut it too long. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. It should have been 3 3/4, not 4 inches. All right, now you have to hold this till it grabs, because after die cutting it has a tendency to curl. All right, now I want that to really grab before I start cutting on it. So I'm going to add my dimensionals onto the back of my sentiment. All right, now let's see, here and here and here, and then I'm going to add another one in the center here. So I have that. All right, I think that's grabbed enough that I can take my snips and go in and just kind of trim this. I got to come this way. Okay. There. And again, I can take and use my eraser on that and it'll be fine. That looks crooked. No, it is. Oh, well, the paper must have been crooked. I can't cut. All right, let's take our backs off of this. Remember to hold your paper carefully so that you don't rip your dimensional off and mess up the back of your image. Like so. All right. And then this I put down at the bottom like so. And to finish it off, I'm going to add some of the iridescent pearls, and I'm going to go for the ones that are blue and green looking. Here's one that's kind of green. And there we have it. And then to decorate the inside of the envelope, I took the embossing folder and I used this one down here. I took my ink pad and I inked up the side that's raised. Let's see, which one is it? That's indented. It's this end. So I inked up this side and I set it down on my paper and I just pushed. And I did the same thing here on the envelope, and the ink transfers. So you can use your embossing folder as a stamp also. Okay. If you have enjoyed today's video, would you please give it a thumbs up, which is a like on YouTube. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. Click the button below. If you want to be notified when I upload a video, click the bell next to the subscribe button. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope I inspired you with today's creation. Have a great day.